Oh, there you go. Well, hello. How you doing there? Hey, Stuffed Rogue Glocksport. What's up? Runesmith. How you doing? 603. What's going on? Purple cuffs today. Yeah, well, I put them away. I'm about to bust them back out. Just kind of going through the cuff and handcuff, equipment, rundown tour, so to speak. Just kind of talking it through. Be doing a live tomorrow night where I'm going to be doing more escapes, trying to step up some stuff and some teaching. But I was awake and I'm bored, and I thought I got some new cuffs. Let's talk about cuffs and cuff stuff. So first and foremost, always we recommend you have a lot of keys available. We're doing handcuff escapes, so always got that. Always got that. Got my lanyard with the split pawls and the high security cuff keys and things if I'm doing stuff involved with that. I've got my handcuff key tools. Zac tool. Looks like a bang. This one, which is very nice, and this one, which holds a key. It's not designed. You can use it for whatever key you got, split paw or not. But one thing I like about this is you can also get it in there and use your key. Oh, there we go. A little bit more of a sideways fashion. So handcuff key tools are important. As I was going beginning, I assembled all my little tools that I made and found and thought were good, and pieces and parts and stuff. So I kind of came up with my own handcuff toolkit, and then the Shacklemen got together and designed the Shacklemen Cuff Club handcuff toolkit, which you can find at Southern Specialties, lockpicktools.com. Hybrid Case Survival also sells it. And then I'll just take you through the journey. So the first two pairs of cuffs I had were a pair of 700Cs and a pair of 750Cs. Etched with Stu 2 locks. And these ones are etched with, it's hard to see, Not Too Dead. Still kicking at the bottom. And an American flag there. Because at Not Too Dead, the co-founder of the Shacklemen Cuff Club, when we were talking about getting into handcuffs, because we were messing with chains and locks, he sent me 2 pairs of cuffs to get started with. So I'll forever be grateful to him just for that. But starting the club with me is pretty cool. And he's still a great friend. So that was my first 2 pair of cuffs. After that, I don't know what order it went in, but this is the order we're going to look at them. We're going to look at some Derby cuffs next. These are some children's Darbys that have a very easy latch. They are Scotland Yard patent, and they're pretty old. I can actually fit these on my wrist, which makes me think I do not have an adult-sized wrist. But it's nice to get out. You can come through the back side of this and get on to the latch and pick them. So even though it's really easy to get out of, you can still pick the cuff, which is kind of more the important thing for escape enthusiasts. So if we're going from there, I have a pair of Lady Darbys provided to me by Coxey's Picks. What you do is just screw the key all the way on, releases the cuff so you can hinge it. You put it back, or you cannot have it on. Let's undo the key, and then you can hear the clicks. So there's two ways to escape this and get inside there and push down the thing that holds it in place, or get a hold of the post inside there that this screws onto, and then you pull the post, which you can do with a not fully threaded key, and that's how you open those. And then if you have more of a modern pair, the Chicago brand Derby replicas, they're nice and shiny, but they still do the same thing. Screw them all on the same, hinge it. If you totally take the key off, then you can adjust them in. Get yourself something nice and thin. Let's see if I can get in there with that. Oop. Not thin enough. There we go. So we get in there with a nice little thin piece of metal. Let's see if I can push the bar down. Oop, I got some part way. Come on, you stupid thing. Oh, I feel the spring going. Either too far on it, or I'm not far enough. Well, shite. Ooh, I'm bending that. That's what I do around here. I bend shit. This is all an exploration. Alright, that's the, oh, I'm bending the hell out of it. Anyway, that's the Derbies. So I got 3 pair of Derbies. I got the 2 pair of cuffs I started with. I have a pair of bangle 8s. You put these on your wrists, and you have a lock that encompasses that, so you're really tight there. And you got to play with them like that. These are really fun. Actually, I like to use these to use the lock on each one and attach them to chains, and just use them as kind of individual manacles. These are made by the Chicago company as well. They do a lot of replica kind of stuff. The bangle 8s, the Irish 8s, the a lot of the Derbies. All right, so from there, I also have this pair kind of always right here. It is technically a pair of X55s, but they are connected to, let me show you at this end. A pair of boot cuffs down at this end. So it's a set of transport cuffs. Technically count it as 2 pair of cuffs within the collection because I need to add numbers. So along with that, I have another pair of just straight boot cuffs from Chicago. The boots from this right there, which are pretty neat because I can actually get both wrists in one cuff and do escapes with that. So those are fun for that reason. And then within this, talking Chicago's X55s are the wrist cuffs up there, and these are the X22s, which are split pawl high security cuff. I figured out a nice little hybrid picking method for those. And I have a couple of pairs of thumb cuffs. I'm going to take a look and see if anybody had anything cool to say. 603, rock out with your lockout. What's up, buddy? Rock out with your lockout. The maker of the Wizard's Wand, which unfortunately the rake met its end. but we have revived it as a hook, and it is making magic happen. So rock out. What's up, brother? Becco, go ahead and fart, man. If you got to fart. Don't hold that in, dude. That causes like health problems and liver damage and things like that. So, all right, all right. What else do I have? I've got, of course, you gotta have a pair of the easy ASPs. Why are they so easy? Because you can take pretty much anything that's a wrapper and open the stupid things. I didn't do it right. I didn't do it right. Who cares? Whatever. There's those. I've got some Chubbs iKey or i7. Where are they? Jesus Christ, my brain is farting. But they're a lot of fun. They're pretty easy to shim. They have this post on the back. If you grab that and push it to the side to provide the tension, it's a 3-lever lock inside there. And you can get in there and pick your 3 levers. Hopefully. I don't know which one I'm missing. I'm missing the tension. Ooh. Oh, there we go. All right. So you can do that. And you can double lock it, and it's the same process for getting that out. However, I do remember that there is a fun little... This one might be too long. There's a fun little bypass. Jiminy Crickets. Over in here, if I can get the tension tool in there. All right. Supposed to be. Oh. Sort of got it. This thing, oh, there we go. This is too fat. I should have had a thinner one. But you get the job done. I have a pair of H&R Super Style high securities. I have the lock down in there, which I can pick the double lock. I've accidentally picked the lock a few times, which is awesome when you do it, but not enough to say that you can do it. But they do, since I can pick the double lock easy, and they have a great... Am I not going to get in there? They have a nice little bypass. If you can get down in there. Apparently I can't. Oh. What happens? Oh, there we go. That's what happens when you don't practice. So let's do that again so you can see it. I'm gonna go in that way. I got to get under that because there's a wheel there. It's a geared wheel. So I have to get under the geared wheel. And down in here, I'm going to push down the spring. That allows me to open that. So that's that bypass there. It's a fun little bypass. That's awesome. You should get one. And then those are the fun cuffs for the money for the like practicing at this point. You know, it's the basic swing through modern cuffs that I'm kind of into. Peerless, Chicago, Smith & Wesson, TCH, stuff like that. So I'll show you what I'm rocking there. Currently, I have, so I only have one pair of Smith & Wesson so far, the basic model 100s, which are, you know, they're pretty tight. They're pretty tight tolerance. They're good. They're a good cuff. You don't start with those. We'll get into those later. And I've got a pair of Chicago hinged cuffs. Those are fun. Speaking of Chicago, Like I said, I got the Chicago X55s, which are the wrist cuffs for the transport cuffs. They're a nice cuff. I have I think they're the 80 something or others. They're the alloy, lightweight, aluminum, basically the same as the X55s. They're nice, although if you get them in the black one, you just start messing them up, tearing the black off it. But that's if you use them. That just shows they're being used. What do the numbers mean? I have no idea. Every company has its own formula. Custom Yadav, you're from India? Welcome. Oh, Not Too Dead. If you guys do have a question, Not Too Dead's in the chat. He is, where is he? Where's his sticker? Jiminy Crickets. I think I buried him. I have another one. We've got Not Too Dead right there. Ba-bam! That's his thingy do, so you can get him. He knows a lot about cuffs. You can ask him questions in the chat right there, and he will be able to help you. So past that, what's up? Newly acquired in the Chicago line, a couple of the Chicago 1000s. Nice powder coat. They do a bunch of different colors. They're really pretty, man. So, and then Handcuff Warehouse puts a different, we'll engrave them, and I don't want the same thing in every cuff, and I'm running out of things to come up with. So, no cuff too tough. And then that's my default, the Great Studini. And they're a pretty nice cuff. I'm digging them. They're pretty much, to me, the same as the X55s and the 80 whatevers, the lightweight Chicagos. Really, it seems like it's the exact same mechanism, exact same keyway. So, well, then we move over to, in the Peerless, I do have the 802C, which is the black. If there was the not black, it would be the 801s. These are the ones that my local police use. So it gives me great pride to say that I can beat these pretty easy. After that, I get back into, now I had a pair of 700Cs over there that Not Too Dead sent me to begin with the 750s, but because I want to practice with them, I've had to get several pairs. So I've got the Shacklemen logo 700s. I've got the Great Studini 700s. And I've got the C-Stu-Do Shacklemen Cuff Club 700s. That's very nice. Game name? Well, it depends on what game I'm playing, baby. All depends on what game I'm playing. So, and then basically that takes me down to, I don't know, the end of my particular collection. I've got a couple more pairs of the 750s to go with these. Now, what's wrong with these is, if you can tell, there's no post in these cuffs. I went so rough and hard when I was learning to get into cuffs that I blew the posts out. So I have to get some replacement cuffs and try to repair these. But I do have a couple more pairs. And they do feel similar to the 700s, but the mechanism inside is different. Instead of a double locking bar, it's a spring. Can't whack attack these, whereas you can the 700s. However, they're pretty much susceptible to everything else the 700s are. And again, if you're tight on the top of the keyway, go to the bottom of the keyway, work your way around, get to where you need to be, and get that cuff open. Because open is open, off is off. That's the mantra of the Shacklemen Cuff Club. Uh, Drag on, what's up? Alvin, how you doing? I know, dude. The yellow is, you know what's crazy? Still kicking is when you pop out the red. It's just sharper than it shows up on camera, and it looks amazing. And you're like, dude, I love the red. And then you hold the yellow up to them, and the yellows seem really, really sharp. And then you pull the red away, and you're like, I like the yellow. And then you bring the red back, and you're like, ooh, I like those red. And it's just this game. So I'm kind of enjoying it. We'll go back into, even though they're different brands, we are referring it to as the PAS, PAAS, handcuff line, Easter eggs. So you can get a lot of powder, and they're just regular cuffs, man. They're just powder coated and colored. And if you keep playing with them, they're gonna wear off. You can see that I started wearing on and off before I broke the cuffs. But that just shows that you're doing something with them, as far as I'm concerned. What's going on? What's everyone doing tonight? Riley, thank you very much, man. Yellow and green. Yeah, dude, these green. It's a muted. It's not like the bright. Not Too Dead's got a pair of the DRM. I believe they're 730Cs. But they're like a shiny green, and they're just I love them, man. And I thought this would be too muted a green, and I wouldn't, I was like, yeah, I want the color, but like when I got them, I was like, dude, honestly, it's this mint green. It's just this soft mint green that really does stand out. That I really enjoy. Same thing with the purples. I thought they were gonna end up, I don't know, being not enough or too much purple, and they're kind of nice little in between lavender. So there's some pinks and some oranges. And then a couple different brands have the same different colors, but they'll be different shades, or a couple different brands. Yeah. So I got to try some of those. I'm looking forward to that. Irish green, yes. The police versus me. Well, in my lifetime, I'm winning. So does that tell you anything? But I'm retired from any way that would pit me against the police. Actually, I've begun to work with the police. So that's actually another weird part of my life. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead. I can't do the blue because when the post is out, the springs and stuff like that you can mess them up by using it. So I don't want to destroy this anymore until I can replace the posts. So I kind of keep those off to the side. Same thing with these. I keep those in the leather case that Random Jim made for me. He made a bunch of us Shacklemen cuff cases, and it's just an amazing case, man. This guy is an amazing leather worker, and I like the fact that it faded all out, but the original color, bam, he gave me some vibrant green that I just let kind of take its course, and I just like the story of that. So, yeah, I guess I should do an escape. We'll escape the colored cuffs. I've got 4 pair. That's a decent escape, right? There's one. There's two. There's three. And here's a 4. There's a 4. Alright. Get them on the other wrists. Actually, not that hard putting on just 4 pairs. Got them on. Alright. Hold on, I gotta take a drink. I gotta light my happy stick. And then we're gonna get in here and get out of 4 pairs of cuffs. We're gonna use kind of a main tool. Chord instruments, two your pick that I've modified, which I can just get. Oh, this is my newest pair of cuffs. It's a little, like I said, if it's tight on the top, I generally can get on the bottom, roll around keyway, and get the cuff off. That one, I don't have to do that with. Chicago's, you're really interacting on the top of that keyway anyway, so you're gonna have room. It's just really about finding the pawl position. There we go. And there we go. Nice little 4-cuff escape. The pause Easter egg escape. We'll do that again in just a moment. I have to. There's a bunch of people in here. Gemini, what's up? Brit Air, how you doing? Nora, Dean. Yeah, like anyone can do this, man. It's just practice. It's what we do in lock sport, man. We bust locks, we bust cuffs, we have fun. Zlair, how you doing? Wow, really? What's up? Shadow Band. Yeah. Pride. I got a pride tattoo on my arm, so I'm gonna eventually have the rainbow of cuffs, and we're gonna do a rainbow escape. That's how we do it around here. Mariam, what's going on? Yeah, Dean P, what's up? Easter escape. We're doing the pause. We're doing the pause escape. Matt's Lock Shop, how you doing, dude? Rock out. Charlie De Niro. Bunch of people in here, man. It's good to see you guys, man. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. We're gonna, I'm just gonna play with some more cuffs. Hope that's fun for you guys. Like I said, there's Not Too Dead, Rock Out with Your Lockout, Dean P. There's a couple people in the chat that are lock sporters and Shacklemen and handcuff people. Not Too Dead is the co-founder of the Shacklemen Cuff Club. So these cats know a lot about this stuff. If I'm not able to see what you're asking, then all right. So we'll do holes up. So I did a nice, easy little holes out. We'll go holes up, which is towards the body. Makes it a little harder to get to the cuff. I'll mix up the different types of cuffs. I'm knocking cuffs off my table. Hold on. Greens on. Yellows on. Alright, now if you're doing multiple cuffs, I tell people always put all your cuffs on one wrist, get everything ready, put it on the other wrist. Because if you do put one cuff on this wrist, it's really hard to get everything else on. And then you kind of just look stupid trying to do it. And I don't mind looking stupid, but not if I know I shouldn't look stupid. Alright, so we got them on. Oh, so, I don't know. I didn't even pay attention to which way the holes were there. Hopefully, they're all right over there. Because it can get fun trying to... Alright, so I want to get this in an angle so you guys can see it. Yeah, you couldn't really see that, could you? Couldn't see that one either, could you? Trust me, it really happened. Oop. Alright, we're gonna go in there. Oop. Try that again. I just passed gas. Oop. I was going the wrong way. was literally, hold on. I was literally going the wrong way. Alright, so now I gotta deal with, well, I'm hooking those cuffs. I did not put the keyhole available. So I gotta move some cuffs and get access to the keyhole. And that's my tight one. So and in all honesty, sometimes it's the most fun when you kind of like screw up and get yourself into a tight position, and you got to figure out how to get out. It's just generally what you sit around doing as an escape artist. Oop. Ooh. Oh, this is killing. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, if the Chicago 1000s break me, that's embarrassing. But that's because I'm not used to doing them that way. I'm used to doing them that way, so that's what practice is all about. Catching all your angles, learning what you're struggling at, that kind of thing. So, alright, let's think. Let's do, that was 4. So if I can dig out my, I'll go ahead and do, just gonna run Peerless. I have 5 pairs. If I can dig the last pair out, where's the last pair? Here. There we go. So we can do a 5 pair escape. Alright. Let me, hold on. I get ready to put them on. And they're on. Damn, that was quick. You guys got to admit that. Now they're on tighter. Alright. Let me double check. Rolex gang. Ah, yes. I wish. GP Rider, what's up, brother? Joe Bunda, yep. It's LGBT run. Going studio on this. What's up? Not too dead, my brother. Yin Yet, how you doing, man? Abdullah Harthi? Someone's breaking up. That's funny. No. Oh, dude, yeah, no, not too dead's got them sweet green cuffs. You guys should go check his channel out, definitely. So, we're going Peerless. Well, you know what? I do have one more pair of Peerless. So, let's go ahead and put the hinge on the front. Rock a little 6-pair set. And we got like colored stainless, colored stainless, colored stainless. You know, it's a little more aesthetically pleasing. Right there. So, the nice thing about doing the same pair is it, oh, that's the tight one. Get in there, work around, hit it with the swoop. There we go. All the way off. Alright, there's one side. Let's get this side off. Put that back on. There we go. Nice little 5 handcuff bust. 5 handcuff bust. Trying to do John Malkovich from that poker movie where he did that incredibly terrible Russian accent. Play your cards. All right. Well, that's my handcuff set. I'm going to be doing a little more intensive escaping from all of this tomorrow night. Tune in tomorrow night. Come catch me. Thanks for coming by and checking me out. Remember, guys, always have some keys, some extra tools, someone available, outside the room to come help you out. Call 911 if you're in trouble, that kind of thing. And stay safe. As we say in the Shacklemen, open is open and off is off. Y'all have a good night.